Hey everybody, Randy Reviews It here. So this week we're talking about the newest version of the Blackout Defense dual taper lock rifle. So this rifle is relatively new to the market. I want to say it came out about a year and a half ago. The dual taper lock 1911 Syndicate did a video on it. Tactical Considerations did a video on it. But this is the newest version because you see something different about this one. So what's different now, if you order a rifle from them, all the new rifles will be shipping with this new receiver, which is ambidextrous controls. So you can see here, there's a bolt release right here, mag release right here. We turn the gun around, you got a giant bolt release here, mag release over here for left-handed, and an ambi safety. So they did a new billet lower for this. That's ambidextrous. The other thing they did, so if you notice, like I think Garand Thumb pointed it out, or Admin Results, one of those guys, they pointed out they didn't like how there was there used to be a cut magwell where it had like a triangle cut in it. You know, it was some aesthetic item that they did. Well, this one is a full magwell and it's flared now. So it should be making mag changes go a lot smoother. You should have just a better time with that because that was one of the complaints on the previous rifle. So all they're making now too are the dual taper locks. So without further ado, let's get into what the rest of the rifle features are and a few more changes on the inside of this gun versus the previous iterations of things. So to break down this rifle and go through a few of its features, let's talk a little bit about their history. So Blackout Defense kind of burst on the scenes because I believe the owner and his wife, or the owner is an aerospace engineer. I saw him on 1911 Syndicate and had some pretty cool features that I wanted to check out for myself. Really interested in some of the things they had to offer. So let's talk about what the base rifle features. So they used to make one called the Quantum. They no longer make that. They only make the dual taper lock now. And what the dual taper lock is, so how a normal barrel nut fits on, this has two different kinds of funnels that kind of lock the barrel in place. If you want to think about it, the first funnel goes on to kind of line it up, and the second one goes through to further restrict it. So what you're getting is you're getting perfect pressure all the way around your barrel, and it's being perfectly centered because when those two funnels kind of align, it's centered. There's no pressure any which way. It's a circle that's lining up with another circle. So that's where that dual taper lock name comes from, is the way that the barrel is attached to the receiver. So the next thing that they do that's pretty interesting, let's see, we'll get some view in there. So they have kind of these vertical cuts on the barrel. So the way that is explained is, you know, from a metallurgy standpoint, when metal heats up, it expands. So it's almost like you're putting up rope barriers for the line on which way you want this to expand. So instead of expanding widthwise and potentially opening up those groups of yours because the barrel diameter has changed or something along those lines, these kind of lines and these cuts are designed to make the metal want to expand lengthwise instead. So the accuracy on this is a sub MOA. With decent ammunition. You know, you can't just fire steel case and expect the best. But it keeps it more accurate during longer bouts of fire when it's going to get hot, it's going to heat up. Maybe you're in a very hot area. Some of the filming I did for this video was in like 100-degree heat in Wisconsin, so stay tuned for that. To watch a fat guy like me get bit by deer flies and mosquitoes and just pure misery and humidity. So that's coming up here. But let's talk a little bit too about the rest of the gun. So it's fit really tight here, and it's all blended together. You know, this is a billet receiver. It's blended straight into their handguard, and it's really gorgeous. One of the things you can do on their website, that if you're like me and you can see, I did a few different colors, is they allow you to kind of customize each piece. So if you're looking for clear anodizing, you're looking to Cerakote it, you're looking to just flat anodize, you know, black, you can do that. But they offer a bunch of different options on their website, and it gives you a little more flair when you're ordering a custom rifle to do that with. So next I want to get into one more change that I noticed after getting this gun versus the previous iterations I've seen in other videos. In other videos, you'll see in the receiver that there was a pocket cut out for like a memory foam cushion, some type of rubber item, to help the rifle fit together, the upper and the lower, to help that fit together, to create constant pressure on things, which would give you inherently a little bit more accuracy potentially. So with that fitment, this no longer has that. This lower receiver no longer has that. Am I concerned about anything? No, because I thought it still had that. The way that this receiver fit together, so the way this receiver fit together was so tight that I thought I was messing something up trying to take it apart. So the fit is, you know, almost like custom 1911 between the lower and the upper. So if you're going to order from them, I would probably do the full gun. I wouldn't do just the upper because you might not maintain that fit with, you know, different lower, different tolerances, that sort of thing. So if you get the full gun from them, expect it to fit extremely tight. It's just, even after taking it apart, you know, 10, 12, 20 times, whatever I've done to change a few things on here, it still fits so tight with each other. And they've done some pretty interesting things. So it's great machining. Love the flared magwell. Yeah. So let's talk about pros and cons. So let's talk about the pros of this gun. I think the biggest pro, and it's absolutely insane, is the zero trigger. So this zero trigger, I have the hybrid version, which you can see it's not flat, it's got a little bit of a curve to it, but this is supposedly 3 pounds. It doesn't feel like 3 pounds. It's like, this gun is empty, but it's bare. There's no take up. It's just all wall, and it breaks so clean, so easy. It's absolutely insane. I plan on trying to get a bunch of these triggers and throwing them in all my other guns. This is hands down the greatest trigger that I've ever felt in any gun. I've had Geisley's, I have the Type A flats, I've had LaRue, I've felt just about everything. And this trigger is absolutely insane. I think it's, sorry, I had a hair in my eye. I think it's absolutely the most insane part of this gun. They do sell the triggers separately. If you're looking for a trigger, look into this. The other thing I'll show you is, let's walk through this. So the reset, ready? Oof, that's a reset. That's the pull. It's so insane. So this trigger is I think, you know, the most amazing part of this gun. Yes, it's a trigger. There's a lot of triggers, but that thing just stands out as there's nothing else on the market that I felt like it. Kindly leave a comment on something if you think it's even close, but this trigger is insane. So what else are you getting with this gun? So you're getting the technology too. So you got that dual taper lock, you got the metallurgy in the barrel, you got the way the receiver fits together. So you get that technology as well as the durability. This thing is built like a brick shithouse. It's a tank of a gun. Between how the heat is gonna handle in the barrel, between the weight of the gun, and the material on here, and you know, just everything together, this thing is, I joked about it on Instagram that this is built for Mad Max. This thing is gonna survive, outlive cockroaches. It's absolutely insane. The level of durability you feel with this thing. I'm gonna put this thing through hell in the future, and I'm sure it's gonna handle it and take more of it. So yeah, the pros. Let's get into some cons. There's and they're not necessarily cons for some of us. It's just what I would say is points to consider when purchasing this. So first let's start out with what I would tell Blackout Defense to potentially change on their guns in the future. So one is they have their own ambi charging handle. It's, you know, what you see on the market for these kind of upper tier ARs with you know, these dual charging handles, these ambi charging handles. One of the things I would say is these stick out a little far. So the newer Type A's have a really nice short rounded version. You still grab it, you can still grip it and rip it on the run. But they're not going to catch on anything, those Type A's. This, it might catch on a few things, and they're a little longer than they need to be. So just some constructive criticism there. The other thing I would say is this came with a Magpul rubberized grip here, and it had like the old angle on it. And I'm not sure if they prefer that. You know, a lot of the market now is getting away from those steep angles like the A2 angles or anything like that. If they would have put maybe the Magpul with, like, what was it, the 15-degree rubberized version, I would have left that on here. Right now I'm going to get another SC Irregulars K grip to put on this because not really a fan of this Driven Arms Co. I tried it out. Not a huge fan of it. So those would be my cons or my things to Blackout Defense is maybe change the grip a little, change the charging handle. And then the other thing is maybe something like a Trigger Tech safety. I'm a big fan of Trigger Techs because this is an ambi safety that comes with it. And it's set to a 90-degree throw. So you're getting on your trigger finger, when that's thrown down, you're getting this bulge kind of in your way. So I'm not a fan of that. I understand some people are left-handed. That's unfortunate for them. I am not left-handed. And what I would like is either a shorter throw safety on here so that this isn't in the way for my trigger finger, or the option to just switch. You know, Trigger Tech has that option where you can just throw in to make it left or right-handed, whatever you want, and then the other side's just empty. That's what I would have gone with if I was Blackout Defense. The other thing for them, and the final thing for them, because this is a great gun. I feel like I definitely got my money's worth. I'm loving it so far. The only thing left that I would suggest to them is maybe try to take off a little bit more material on things, because this thing is heavy as hell. This is, you notice it. It's definitely heavier than the other guns. That's part of that whole being built like a tank, the durability of it. It's going to be heavy. I wish they would lighten it up a little bit. This handguard that they have is pretty thick. I'm wondering if they could lighten that up a little bit, and then as well as the billet receiver. Look, I get it. Everyone likes angles and these sharp looking edges that are, you know, kind of tuned down. But sometimes that mil-spec receiver with just the smooth rounded edges that take everything off that it doesn't need, yeah, it makes sense on those. So yeah, I would lighten this up if I could. Now as a consumer, what cons are you facing with this? So the only con as a consumer that I think you really face with this is price. You're looking at a pretty steep price tag here. After all the customization that I did, it was about $2,600. But like I said earlier, I feel like I got my money's worth. You can't always say that with some of the guns, especially these customs. What I'll go on to say that really blew me away, their customer service. I'm used to, you know, like Alchemy, I'm used to Cloud, I'm used to Shadow Systems, I'm used to Type A, all these companies that they put their customer service way up there. And Blackout Defense wowed, as much as their trigger wowed me, their customer service wowed me just as much. So when I ordered my gun, they were still making the old receiver. And I saw the new receiver on Instagram, and I reached out to them and I said, hey, I know I just ordered my gun. Your website said there was a 16-week build time. Can you hold my order and put the new receiver on it? Because, you know, I want that full magwell on here instead of that angled one that Admin Results wasn't a fan of. So they said, yeah, we'll take care of that. But right now, and this was, you know, like 3 weeks in, we've already got your gun built. Like, their website said 16 weeks. I was expecting 16 weeks. You know, when I ordered from Type A, it was a 14-month build. 16 weeks, nothing for me. So I said, okay. Well, they had it built in like 3.5 or 4 weeks, which was insane to me. So I was like, all right, so what now? Like, am I kind of screwed here? And they said, no, we're charging $50 more on the original price tag for this ambi option that we're doing with the lower receiver for that new magwell. I didn't know it was ambi until I asked. I said, what else changed with it? You know, they said, hey, we switched it over to ambi. It's got a big magwell. It's flared. I go, okay, I'm in. And I paid the $50. They said, no problem. We're building the new lower. We're not going to charge you any restocking fee or anything like that for the old one that they had already assembled, put together, everything like that. They communicated so well every step of the way. I actually had my FFL get shut down at the time too, and I had to reach out and send them a new FFL to ship my gun to. And yeah, like their customer service was so top notch. I felt like I was taken care of very, very well with them. And I'm sure if you have any questions, you know, feel free to reach out to them. They're happy to help. I'm not sure what orders are looking like now. If that 16 weeks is still 4 weeks or if it's closer to the 16 weeks now. But regardless, if you're looking for a top tier gun that isn't just a name, it's not just a hype beast or anything like that, that it actually has acknowledgeable technology gains over the base AR-15s that are out there. You might want to look into Blackout Defense. They got a lot of things going for it. I'm very happy with things. You don't have to go crazy with the colors. You can save a few $100 probably. Not going crazy with the colors, just sticking with black if that's your thing. The other thing that I did on this is I added the Superlative Arms adjustable gas block on here. And this is a 14.5 pin and weld with an OSS/HUXWRX muzzle flash hider on here. So those are what cans I have. So now they're offering a lot more muzzle device options. And they're offering adjustable gas blocks, which is what really drew me into them, because I said, like, hey, I'd love to buy a gun, but I don't want a full 16-inch gun. And they weren't offering my muzzle device at the time. They were offering chemo. So I held off. And then I saw they had the adjustable gas block and the new muzzle device. So that's when I kind of bought in with them. And I'm very happy. I'm going to be doing a long-term review on this. But if you're interested in a go-to-hell-and-back rifle or gun that looks great as well as performs great, check out Blackout Defense. Their customer service is amazing. They'll take care of you. Blackout Defense, if you watch this video, take my suggestions how you will. I'm just one person. It's anecdotal. You guys do make arguably the greatest trigger that I've ever felt in my life and may ever feel in my life. I don't know how much more you could improve on a trigger. It's pretty blown away. So here's some footage of me shooting it, as well as bonus footage of the deer fly bite and what it did to my hand. So if you watch the video, you'll see a deer fly went onto my hand when I was in Wisconsin. While I'm shooting, it bites me and it's noticeable, and I swat it off. And then I took a picture of how much that bite swelled up, just so that people can understand. Wisconsin in the summer isn't pleasant. It's a swamp with tons of bugs and tons of insects that will eat you alive. It was much hotter than it was in Tennessee when I went back to visit Wisconsin. It's more humid. The humidity there is crazy, and there isn't much wind. So the bugs, it's just a feeding frenzy. So enjoy the footage. Take care, everyone. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. I'll definitely respond to you. Looking forward to seeing what happens to this rifle after I put a bunch of rounds through it. All right, take care, everyone.